Welcome back, everyone. It's Rebecca Gaetz-Bishop over at Keller Williams Premier Realty, and today we are going to be talking about homeowner associations, HOAs. Some people love them, some people hate them. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of being part of an HOA. So what is an HOA? Well, it's actually an association in a subdivision that works to maintain the look and the value of the subdivision by putting in certain rules and regulations. While the intention of an HOA, again, is to maintain the property values of a subdivision, which often lead to a higher value subdivision, some people do not like living under an HOA because the rules can be somewhat strict. So, like it or not, if you decide to buy in a subdivision that has an HOA, you are agreeing to abide by the rules set by the HOA. Some of these rules can be things like what type of fencing that you can put up, if you can even put up fencing, whether or not you have a light post in front of your yard, whether or not you can park in your driveway, if you can have a boat in your driveway, how many pets you can have. I mean, some of them can be very, very restrictive, while others are not quite as restrictive. If you buy in an HOA, you must agree to abide by the terms and the rules set by the HOA. If you decide not to, you can face fines and even legal action. An HOA can even put a lien against your house. So there are several HOA governing documents that are involved when an HOA is set up. The first one is the covenants and restrictions. The covenants not only define what the HOA is responsible for, such as how the common area is used and cared for, but also the restrictions on the homeowner. Then there are the rules and regulations that pertain to daily events, such as perhaps your landscaping, the noise, no parties, no loud music after 10 o'clock at night, whatever it may be. These particular rules can be changed depending on the board. It can be voted on, and some of these rules can be changed. Then there are the bylaws, which is how the HOA is going to be ran. Are there going to be meetings? Are there going to be votes? And each member on the board, what are their responsibilities? The Articles of Incorporation is the HOA files as a nonprofit and is filed with the state. And then, of course, there is the plat that outlines the subdivision with the different lots, the streets, the common areas, etc. An HOA cannot prevent a buyer from buying in that subdivision based on your family status, your sex, on your religion, any of those protected classes. An HOA has no control over. HOAs are not allowed to discriminate and forbid you from having a satellite dish or TV antennas, and that has to do with some federal communications act. But they can limit the size of them. When you are purchasing a home, you should be well aware that the house is in an HOA. Please, please, please take the time to read through all of the covenants and restrictions, the bylaws, all those forms and documents that I talked about at the beginning. It is very, very important. Your real estate agent really should be interpreting those for you. You should be talking to perhaps a board member, which your real estate agent can probably get you in touch with, or even have your attorney look them over for you before signing the dotted line. You certainly don't want to be in a situation where you're going to be unhappy living there. On the other hand, again, an HOA, living in an HOA can be a wonderful experience. You know that your neighborhood is being well maintained, watched over, and that you don't have to worry about your neighbor having a dumpster in front of their yard for a year. You also want to know how much the HOA costs and how often that you pay it. I used to live in an HOA. I actually loved it. It had this subdivision pool that we all got to use. We paid like $350 a year. It was incredible. We had a clubhouse, we had common area, we had the swimming pool. I enjoyed it, but it's not for everybody. So buyer beware, Please, please, please make sure that you read all the documents before signing a contract for a house in an HOA. If you have any further questions about HOAs or any other real estate matter, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, like, subscribe, and I'll be talking to you soon.